Welcome to the milk bar. 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 Welcome to the milk bar.
Welcome along to episode 530 of the Milk Bar. Jason and Forrest here with you as ever, and coming up on the show, we'll be having a chat with Kara Vorderman all about ageism as she campaigns against it. Kelly Jeffs from the Lighthouse is going to let us know about their first annual fundraising ball. We'll have a chat with the team from Brierley Hill Musical Theatre Company. They are putting on Jekyll and Hyde the musical, so we'll be meeting three of the cast and having a bit of a song or two from them. We chat with one half of the Simon and Garfunkel Story ahead of their appearance at the Stafford Gatehouse. And we'll have music from Pluvium ahead of a bit of a tour around the country, which will then finish off in their native Birmingham, and they'll be playing a bit of a live tune as well as listening to their latest single. That's all coming up on the show, but first of all, with Cabaret at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 3rd through the 7th of September, it promises to be a visual treat on stage. It's going to sound blooming good too. There, Sally Bowles is the one and only Kara Lily Hayworth. Hello!
Hello, thank you for having me.
No, good to talk to you, and ahead of such a great show as well. And I mean, Cabaret, I think, is loved by pretty much everyone who sees it, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's my all-time favourite and my ultimate dream role, so I'm feeling like a very lucky girl right now.
So tell us a bit about your take on Sally.
If anybody who knows the story about Cabaret, it's a heavy show, it's dark, and the subject matter is very important and powerful, and I think it's trying to get the balance between having showgirl Sally, you know, the performer Sally that everybody sees, but having the real sort of torment going on in her life as well. So trying to get the balance between that, but it's my absolute dream role.
The music in the show as well, the quirky and dark, but still accessible and very much exciting too.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of people will know quite a lot of the songs in the show, but they're still so quirky even now. They've got a real magic about them, the songs, you know. I mean, Maybe This Time and Cabaret and loads of the MC songs, you know. I've just watched them rehearsing Money, which is just going to be an absolutely fantastic number, and it's so dark, and the meaning behind it about how money makes the world go round, it's so poignant. But the music's just fab. But
with things like the song that you get to sing, Don't Tell Mama, as well, I mean, that's just got to be a magical moment too.
Yeah, definitely. And Mine Hair as well, right at the top of the show. Yeah, it's brilliant.
What do you think is your favourite bit of the show when you watch it compared to when you perform it?
So my favourite bit so far that I've seen in rehearsals is when they do Two Ladies, the MC and all of the cabaret dancers. It's hilarious and so cleverly done. It's fantastic.
And to actually perform?
Oh, I think probably Mine Hair. It's quite scary. We've been rehearsing it, and at the very end of the number, I have to fall sideways off a very high set of stairs into some chap's arms at the bottom, which was very scary the first time. I'm gradually getting used to it, but I'm hoping that'll be a moment that I will actually enjoy after a little while. At the moment, it's just terror.
It's getting that look of terror off your face, though, however terrified you feel inside. That's the difficult bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think a big part of this is the fact you've got live musicians as part of this as well, and it's just such a powerful sound, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be amazing, and the orchestra and everything is going to be fantastic to have that sort of huge sound on stage, and the sort of old school musical theatre sound that Kandra and Ebb were so brilliant at. It'll be great to have that with a full orchestra.
Do you think that revisiting this has brought anything different to it, or is it just really telling a story we all know and love, and there's some cheeky and fun moments too, but do you think that they're not going to lose any of their magic, are they?
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, this production is directed by Rufus Norris. It's so cleverly done. Or, you know, the set is fairly simple but really clever, and the lighting is going to be amazing, and the choreography isn't the original choreography, and it's really cool. You know, it's got a more modern twist to it, but really amazing, and the dancers are out of this world.
The fact that Rufus has done so much work with the National as well, he brings that experience to the stage with this show.
Definitely, it's been it's amazing to get the opportunity to work with someone like him and have his input.
With the way the Grand looks, it's going to be the sort of venue that's going to look right in as well, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's going to really suit that kind of production, I'm sure.
We know it's going to be great. We know that you're experienced in performing in the West End and beyond. Being the Sally in this show, you've said it's a highlight. You're really looking forward to it. Made for the part. But
Yeah.
what do you see as the differences between you and her when it comes to it? Because obviously you're not normally out there in quite such a raunchy style show. You'll play the part, but that's not necessarily you, is it?
Yeah, there's definite differences. But
I want to know what they are, though. Come on, let's name names.
There's definitely things that I can connect with her, with the role of Sally. I mean, she's the sort of person that gets distracted very easily. She falls in love with the newest, shiniest thing that comes along, and she's, a very excitable type of person. So I can definitely, see parts of me in that. And, the sort of character when, as soon as things start to get serious, she panics and runs away. It's such an intricate role and so many sides to her. But yes, no, you're right. I haven't played anything quite this raunchy before.
And obviously, we've got John Partridge in his role as the master of ceremonies and all this.
You're going to be in for such a treat. He's just going to be fantastic.
It's someone else who's just made for that role, isn't he? I think.
Oh, completely. And I didn't see Will Young do it, but
he was amazing. He was amazing.
I've heard that John is very different in the way he's approached it, and I think he's going to be an absolute star. I mean, he already is an absolute star, but I think in this role, he's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, and the things we've seen at the Grand recently, things like La Cage aux Folles, he clearly throws himself into these roles as well, and that must be something that everybody's seen. And with names like yourself, Anita Harris, and John in there,
completely.
Yeah, it is just a dream cast, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And Anita is so amazing playing Fraulein Schneider. She's got a perfect balance between having that stern character, but then you can see that she has the capability to fall in love, and she's brilliant, and she's the loveliest woman as well. She's so generous.
Well, it's going to be truly awesome. It's on stage at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 3rd through to the 7th of September. 01902 429212 is the box office number. grandtheatre.co.uk to get your tickets as well that way. For now, we're looking forward to seeing you at the Grand. Kara Lily Hayworth, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Can't wait to be there.
In a moment's time, we'll be hearing from Pluvium, having a bit of a natter with them. But first, let's take a listen to their current single. This is Searching.
I'm searching for myself. I'm searching for a fight, so I'm searching for what else I can pick up. I'm searching. I'm searching. I'm searching. I'm
Birmingham-based Pluvium are doing great things. They're heading out on the road as we head through the latter part of 2019, and they're here now with me to tell me more about it. Well, actually, 3/4 of them are. We have Tom, we have James, we have Mike. Hello, boys.
Hello. Hello, you right?
All right, which end should we start? You do most of the singing, don't you, James? So,
yes, and most of the talking.
yeah, and it's kind of compulsory.
Yeah.
And you're most worried about your hair.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
So
my look. I'm very
Yeah.
self-obsessed.
But that was. So who are we missing, first of all?
We're missing Calvert.
He's on bass.
Yeah, he plays bass.
But we did a bit of a weird wired acoustic thing today, aren't we?
Yes, yeah, we are, yeah.
So we don't need him necessarily for this.
Wow. He's got a lovely voice, as Calvert.
Has he?
He's missed, but he's all right.
We have you and Mike singing for us in a minute or two,
yes,
don't we?
Yeah, we do.
I wouldn't call it singing.
But as drummer, does this scare you?
A little bit, yeah, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, that's cool. And
great voice.
you've got a guitar as a prop there at the moment, so we know what you do. Basically, how does it work for you in the band? Do they talk to you properly and join in with us? Or?
Well, most of the time.
Yeah,
you know,
guitarists.
We hate Tom.
Guitarists are strange social creatures, aren't they? So you know, the way they're.
that's just musicians in general. Social skills and music don't really tend to mix.
Not a good sign.
No.
Okay, so we'll stick with talking to James because it could be safer. So what's happening with the music then? Where are we at?
Okay, so recently we just came out of the studio in Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
So we were up there at the end of July, just recording our EP, like our debut EP. And we have got our first single out. It's called Searching. It's on Spotify and Apple Music and all the usual places. And so that's where we're at, I guess.
To tour though, you're going to be heading around and about. So what have we got coming up?
Yeah, so I think in November we're hoping to head to Liverpool, Manchester, and then London, and then we're going to do a big hometown show in Birmingham, which is going to be a great time.
So which bit of Brum are you from?
Well, I mean, the thing is that's
you don't know, do you?
Well, we're all we base. See,
He doesn't remember anything.
brains and vocalists don't go together.
No.
So no, but we base our musical stuff out of Birmingham. Is
Generally
how it goes. Yeah,
because it's not that big a place. It's a little town just outside of Wolverhampton.
just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Vague. It's keeping it vague. So there we go.
Yeah. But yeah, so Birmingham. There we go.
Okay. So what you got a bassist, you got a guitarist, we've got a singer and a drummer. So how would you describe the pigeonholing of the sound if you're prepared to do so?
So I mean, I guess. I mean, when we first started, it was just me and Mike writing songs because between us we play like drums, guitar, bass, and keys, and sing and all that sort of thing. So we started literally recording all of our like tracks into Logic and just sort of like finding the sound and stuff like that. And we kind of came out with kind of a blend of what we mainly listen to. So Mike mainly listens to a lot of like metal, a lot of really aggressive stuff. I mean,
He doesn't look that aggressive. Is this true, Mike?
No, I'm soft.
Yeah.
He's a softy really. But yeah, so that's kind of your thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then, whereas my thing is kind of like, I guess like vibey kind of stuff. So like, I mean, for example,
So I had you down as Spice Girls.
yeah, I look like one of those, don't I?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of Jordan Rakey and James Blake and I guess Georgia Smith to an extent, kind of like R&B. And I do listen to a bit of metal. Between us, we listen to sort of
There's a wide
everything.
variety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wide variety.
And then Tom, do you try and hijack this and stick your own sound on it too?
Yeah, I try and put jazz chords on everything, which is why they want to kick me out every week. But yeah.
But it's all part of the vibrancy of the band and making that sound different.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. I come from a kind of classic rock background, hence the sort of silly hair and the stupid jacket. And,
Could be worse, you could have his trousers on.
I could have his trousers on, yeah. You'd never catch me in them. It's that fact you've rolled up a bit as well.
I think there'd be shorts on you, to be fair, as well. But all this sort of brings the band together, and bassist, remind me the bassist's name.
Calvert.
So Calvert's influences?
Well, he's very prog metal.
So this is an interesting mix you're bringing here.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah. No, you definitely wouldn't.
It is weird. Music with a passion. It's really.
It's really strange. Like Mike says, it's really strange how it kind of worked out in the end. But it just generally works.
Well, me and you started off in a metal band that didn't really work out, and then James left, and I carried on with it.
Yeah.
And he messaged me a few months after he'd left, saying like, "Do you want to try and write some stuff?" And then we've ended up doing this somehow.
Yeah, it's basically.
But it's working. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is definitely.
So
definitely.
the EP is out there, and what are the plans for an album that follow? Have you managed to write enough stuff without fighting over jazz chords?
So what we're going to do is we're going to release various bits from the EP over time, up until probably December.
Yeah.
It's probably like November time is probably when the full EP will come out. And then I think maybe we might work on like another EP. Maybe,
We've got
or
at the minute like 12 original songs. A couple of them need a bit of work.
But you've got a whole album's worth, but you just
the
want
Yeah,
groundwork
exactly.
is there.
Yeah.
for us
exactly
to move
as
on
well
with.
as the original material.
So 2020 could see that. Meanwhile, 2019 is EP season.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
Definitely.
that sounds like it's going to work. And socials, what have we got there?
Well, we're most active on Instagram because Instagram's all about the look and so that's me.
That we've got going on. It's all about James's trousers, really.
Yeah,
that's
that-
the
that-
only thing that's on our Instagram. James's trousers.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
It's just so. But yeah, no.
Where do we find you on Instagram then?
So it's Instagram at Pluvium Band.
Okay, so spell Pluvium for us.
Pluviam.
He's got it right.
It's quite
I
impressive,
can
isn't
spell.
it?
Yeah.
Have you got T-shirts with that printed on to help you out?
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well?
we have actually. Yeah.
So that's all good. And then get those via.
Yeah, we can
Gigs
well,
mostly, or?
Yeah, well, it's we're launching a website soon.
We are.
So-
that's on my
So that's the next thing. That's
Okay.
on Mike's to-do list.
Yeah.
And so they'll be available from the website, and then obviously concerts and stuff like that will have them.
Yeah. And
we'll have
EPs
them.
and all sorts of
Yeah, and
pick up and buy there.
everything. Really.
Okay, so but Instagram, and you'll be plugging the gigs on there as well, so people.
Yeah,
know
yeah. Plugging the gigs, and then I think we're starting up a mailing list and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we're excited.
All sounds good. I'm completely convinced. Right, you're going to hear a song now. What are we going to hear?
This one's called Lo-Fi.
Okay, and this
And
is off the.
it's-
Is he off the EP?
Yeah. It is off the EP.
Okay.
It's coming out. Yeah.
It's one of the most recent ones we wrote, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. I think this is for the first one that we wrote with Tom. Tom in the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was in the room. I didn't really write him, but I was in the room.
You're allowed to have an input.
I was. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd hurt my hand at the time, so I couldn't.
no, honestly.
Suspect hand injury.
Honestly, like on the track, I mean, he's for today he's going to play like this really cool chordy thing, but literally like
That's a technical term. I
on
like
the-
that.
Yeah,
technical
yeah.
term,
on the track
Some
on the
chords.
track itself, like he literally, I remember, like because this is when he first joined the band, he came in and we both sat there. I brought like this intro and we built this song, and then we were just like, well, this middle eight section needs a guitar solo, and this like literally the guitar solo was the first time that I looked at Tom and I was just like, yeah, I've got to have this guy on the band. I was just like, oh.
That's really nice. And funnily enough, that's the solo that I'm not going to be playing today. So you won't get to hear that.
Okay, but by the EP.
But it will be on the
Yeah,
EP.
that's the answer.
If you
Get
think
the
the song
EP.
needs a guitar solo, listen to the EP.
Okay, they are Pluvium. You can hear them now, but equally you can check out all the stuff. Make sure you check them out on Instagram, and you can see more of the trousers. Fantastic stuff. Thank you, boys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know where we're going, but I know we can see past these walls. Has always been a thing that we do. away from ourselves. But where are you going from? I don't wanna be alone or be there. I can't see no way through. I just wanna be home for the summer, feeling the heartbreaks on my face, and the world's a disgrace. And so I want everything, and I want you to see me for what I am. I want everything, and I wanna see who I am to you. To you, it's a deep, dark hole in which your hell begins. How you don't walk through. For what I am to you, I can't explain. I want to run away from you. And so I want everything, and I want you to see me for what I am. I want everything, and I wanna see who I am to you. I want everything, and I want you to see me for what I am. I want everything, and I want you to see me for what I am. I want everything, and I wanna see who I am to you.
From the 9th through to the 12th of October at Brierley Hill Civic Hall, Brierley Hill Musical Theatre Company have Jekyll and Hyde the musical. I have Neve, Alec and Kate to tell me more about it. Hello!
Hi.
So, a big musical,
Yes.
quite scary in places?
He is.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us who each of you are playing, then Neve, first of all.
Yeah, so I play Emma, and she is Jekyll's fiancée, and she's quite naive with love, but she's also got a very feisty side to her.
Okay, so that's going to be essential potentially, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see how that works out. Alec.
I'm playing Dr. Henry Jekyll and then Edward Hyde later on.
So you've asked for twice the fee for this?
No, twice the lines.
That's
Twice the song.
Yeah, twice the songs.
And Kate?
I'm Kate, I'm playing Lucy. How to put this nicely? She's a lady of the night.
Okay.
And yeah, she's a interest of Jekyll and Hyde in places.
So this is going to be an interesting one. So this is not the play. We have to state that to start off with.
No.
We make the understanding we are not going to see a play. It is a musical, which means there are some fantastic songs in it.
Yeah.
Okay, favourite songs from each of you?
In His Eyes, which is a duet between me and Kate's character.
Confrontation, which is a duet with myself.
Self-obsessed, that's the way we like it.
I get to sing a great song at the end called A New Life. So it's a great song for my character to sing.
Okay, so that's where does this start then? Because there's all sorts of troubles going on in both Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's world, aren't there?
Yes, so Henry Jekyll is a doctor, and he's has experiments where he's trying to separate good and evil within man, and then he is denied permission to experiment on somebody else, so he experiments on himself, and that is where Hyde is created from his darker side becomes Edward Hyde, and then he takes vengeance.
So is the beard essential for this part?
No, the beard will probably be going, actually.
Okay,
I've been on holiday for 2 weeks. So
okay, so I was wondering whether it was part of the preparation for the process.
No. There'll be maybe a bit of, changing appearance, different costumes, maybe changing what I do with my shaggy hair, but the beard will probably go, unfortunately. I'd love to keep it, but...
And playing the fiancée, which do you think she's going to prefer, Jekyll or Hyde?
Definitely Jekyll.
You think?
She doesn't really know.
Do you meet Hyde?
I don't think I do.
I don't think you
At
meet.
the end, we can't say anything about it, but...
Okay, no spoilers, no spoilers.
But near the end, I do. Yeah.
But we'll see how that works out. And obviously, Kate, in your role, hanging around in the night, being a lady, do you get to meet both of them? And how do you approach that? Because you've got to remember which one he is when he's there, isn't it?
Well, I think that she gets a bit confused. So she meets Jekyll at first, and he's actually really nice to her. And obviously, in her profession, she doesn't get that a lot. So it takes her aback a bit, and she gets into a bit of trouble through Hyde, and she goes to Jekyll for help. I don't think she quite realises that they're two different people, but I think as the play goes on, she starts to spend more time with Hyde. She kind of realises that there's a bit of Jekyll in him as well, so it's quite confusing for her. She's obviously really into Hyde, but I think it's because she's into Jekyll.
And how does this work as far as setting goes? Because I take it we're probably Victorian London, is it?
Yeah. 1888, I think.
Which has a very distinctive look about it. So how is the Civic Hall going to look for this?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it too. I'm looking forward to turning up.
Yeah, you haven't seen anything of the set yet.
We've seen some photos of the set.
Yeah,
the set
we
looks
haven't actually
amazing. We've got some different levels, some different bridges, and Ty, our wonderful director, is doing a great job sort of using the space really creatively. And
it is quite a big stage as well, isn't it? I mean, have you played the Civic Hall before? I take it, most of you.
I haven't, no.
I have.
And how do you feel about it? Because it's great from an audience point of view. It's a fantastic venue.
It's a big space to fill, isn't it? But I'm really excited to do it again.
So that's going to be good. And obviously, there's a lot that's going into this, and having worked through all of your summer holidays to get to the point where this is going to work in October, obviously it's got to be worth it. And the big band sound as well. I mean, how many people are going to be on stage filling it all out? How big's the band?
I think that's 16 pieces, isn't it? For the orchestra.
16.
And I think we've got about 16 in the cast. So it's fairly small in terms of like a big musical theatre show. But I think the show lends itself to that. I think it's all very focused around the principals. We've got some really key cast members that help us fill out the ensemble and do the bits that tie the story together.
And we make a big sound as well.
When
we're all going for it.
It's not quite a happy clapping musical though, is it? It's no Hairspray, but it's
definitely not.
But it's got a bit of angst and some great storyline.
Yeah, it's not happy clapping, but there's some weirdly catchy bits in it. Like and
some weird bits of humour.
There's some light and shade, and the chorus numbers that sort of start each act, they're energetic, so they'll definitely get everyone.
But a dancing Jekyll and Hyde, not quite.
There's
movement.
There's movement, yeah. So Anna, our choreographer, is putting some really nice stuff together. More for the ladies than the
I get a great dance.
But you get to be choreographed because there'll be some fight scenes and things as well, won't there? So that is dancing just with the potential of hitting somebody.
Yes.
Which is pretty much how I dance every time I dance, to be fair. So.
It's great fun pretending to, murder people. You don't get to do it every day, so it's fun to do it for fun.
I mean, you do at the moment, so... okay, so that's all going to be looking great, and we're going to hear a song or two from you to set the scene for the whole musical as well, so we're looking forward to that. But what would you say is the reason to go and see this? Because it's a story that many people have an idea of, but I suppose it's the way it's told through the music, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I think the music sells it.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you obviously everyone knows the story of Jekyll and Hyde, but I don't think they really know him or kind of understand his story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the music is so powerful, it's so strong. It might not be the most uplifting of shows, but the music in itself is still uplifting in a way through its kind of power and its message.
Yeah, it's music that you'll enjoy listening to.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised as well. So people that know the book will sort of see the references that the writers of the musical have used. If it's completely new to you, you'll enjoy that too. And even if you've seen the show before, there's some things in there that Ty's putting like a different spin on. So there'll be something there for anyone.
And when it comes to the change, obviously there's the potion that you've got to take to do that. Okay, let's have some secrets. Do we know what it's going to be yet?
No.
Are they going to surprise you with something weird tasting?
There's some rumours of some chemical reactions maybe bubbling and fizzing happening on stage.
He's going to be on Barocca for about... I don't know how long.
If it can be port and brandy to help my voice.
May not get away with that one. Okay, so the important thing now is to get tickets. So that we've got a Facebook page which you can contact the group through.
Yeah, so you can contact the Facebook page, Briley Hill Musical Theatre Company. There's also
the website, which is bhmtc.co.uk. We've got Twitter, which is BHMTC Shows. And then phone number
0345 658 8095.
So grab your tickets any of those ways and basically come along and see a fantastic show with an absolutely brilliant cast of people and a rather good director as well.
Yeah, well,
the whole team's very good.
Yeah.
He's always watching over us, making sure we're...
It's constantly there. It's like Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it, basically?
He's always watching, making sure we're doing the best.
Whatever you do, he's there. Well, thanks for joining us. We're going to hear you sing now, and we're looking forward to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I sit and watch the rain and see my tears run down the window pane.
I sit and watch the sky, and I can hear it heave a sigh.
I think of him,
how we were,
and when I think of him,
then I remember. In his eyes I can see where my heart longs to be.
In his eyes I see a gentle glow, and that's where I'll be safe, I know.
Safe in his arms, close to his heart.
But I don't know quite where to start.
By looking in his eyes, will I see beyond tomorrow?
By looking in his eyes, will I see beyond the sorrow that I feel?
Will his eyes reveal to me promises or lies?
But he can't conceal from me the love in his eyes.
That every look his
They're like an
eyes
open book
Bridal Hill Musical Theatre Company with one of the songs from Jekyll and Hyde. We will have more very soon when we hear Alec White. A third of Brits admit to regularly discriminating against others because of their age, according to new research by Sun Life, with more than 2/3 of over 50s saying the casual ageism apparent in everyday society makes them feel less valued. I'm joined now by a campaigner on the subject, Carol Vorderman. Good afternoon.
I'm campaigning hard. Good afternoon, sir.
Well, so I think half of the problem is things like when I googled Carol Vorderman just to get some background, it comes up with Carol Vorderman age as one of the questions. And now, admittedly, I was sneakily going there because I you can't tell how old you are because you look so young. But you are in your 50s, aren't you?
I'm well in my 50s, and happily so. It's been the best decade of my life, without question. Happiest, most mischievous, most wonderful, most contented. Just brilliant age to be.
And I think part of this, when people are using terrible remarks like little old lady, bitter old man, that sort of thing, they're probably doing it out of jealousy for the fact that these people are more experienced because you are a legend on TV. And you have to build up to being a legend, don't you? You can't just walk out and be a legend.
Well, that's very kind, James. Very kind. But this isn't about me.
No.
This is, this is... the thing is, when I'm 58 now. At the end of next year, I'll be 60. I'm fantastic, and I'm very lucky because I'm fit and I'm healthy, and I look after myself, and I honestly have a great life. But it isn't just me who's doing that. There's a thing out today saying the happiest people are parents whose kids have left home. And of course, for that to happen, you necessarily have to be older. And my kids, are 27 and 22, and I couldn't agree with it more. Now, this survey, which has been brought out by Sun Life, the thing that I think, had this been done 20 years ago, the numbers would have been far worse. It's a bit like going back to the 70s and the things with sexism and so on, which obviously I grew up during that time, so you had to kind of endure it. But now, what really upsets me is that over 2/3 of those people over the age of 50 who have been on the receiving end of ageist comments feel less valued because of it, that it really does affect them. I mean, because I've been in the public eye all my adult life, I'm like, it is genuinely water off a duck's back, but for a lot of people it isn't. And particularly, for women who possibly are going through the menopause and so on, that maybe, simply because of hormonal changes, and that's the only reason, are going through sort of anxious times and so on. It's a bad thing to have to cope with this as well, as, when we should be celebrating the longer lives that we lead. 100 years ago, the average life expectancy was only 50 in the UK. When I was born in 1960, the average life expectancy was 70. Now it's over 80. So plenty more of us. We're very happy, thank you very much. But these comments belong to the last century. They are not of today. We're getting rid of all this nonsense that we've all sort of had to endure from whatever background that we've had. It belongs to another time. It's historic. Got to go.
But it is, according to the survey, 30-year-olds who are probably the worst offenders and 20-year-olds who are nearly as bad. As we get a bit older, 70-year-olds aren't ageist at all. Yeah. So...
Yeah, not surprisingly. Yeah. So, but you go back, like I say, if you go back 20 years, I think those numbers would have even been higher. I mean, 20 years ago, this gives you an example of ageism. 20 years ago, I was like 39 rather. I was 39, and I was on telly all the time, and I wore a short blue dress to the BAFTAs, and that went front page for like weeks and weeks and weeks. BBC made a whole programme about it. Lots of shouting, not about the dress. It was about, should a woman of 39 wear a dress above the knee? Can you imagine that today?
No, I would hope.
No, you can't.
I'd hope it wouldn't happen. But I mean,
no, but I was 39. I wore a dress above the knee, which looked perfectly fine, and that was a question. And I was labelled at age 39 as mutton dressed as lamb. That was only 20 years ago. I mean, How nonsensical is that?
It is absolutely mad. And I think we're lucky that we live in a better time. It's not perfect, but a better time. And
it's so much better.
And you look at the likes of Debbie McGee doing Strictly. She looked fantastic in all those outfits, and we didn't get silly comments like that, did we?
No, and that is brilliant. And I mean, now everybody, 49, 59, 69, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's about the person. And I think, no matter what your gender, no matter what your race, no matter what, it's about the person. And that's surely what we're doing. And we're teaching young girls, and I've been a big proponent of this all my life, obviously with science and technology and maths and so on, encouraging girls, to be strong and independent and education and so on. And that really is the essence of who I am. And so it's, my generation has been fighting for these freedoms for our children and our daughters, and they are getting better. Sadly, we're the generation that's always been at the bow wave at the front of having to fight the fight. Mm-hmm. And this is another fight that we're having to fight. But we're used to fighting, so bring it on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am concerned this seems to be skewed more towards women than men. And I think if in some ways a man is going to shrug off the grumpy old man image much better than a woman being described as mutton dressed as lamb, as we say.
But nobody wants to be grumpy. Why did I don't know many grumpy people. I get rid of grumpy people. There are a lot of people in their 20s who are grumpy. It's got nothing to do with age. That's just about being grumpy.
And maybe they just need to smile a bit more and enjoy life the way in
no
which...
matter what their age.
Yeah, just get on with it.
That's the point.
Yes.
Yeah, just get on with it. We're only here once. We're here once around, and it's here to be celebrated.
Absolutely.
I get up every morning and I count my blessings. It normally goes up to about 27, and I count my blessings, and I think, oh, aren't I lucky? How lucky am I? And then I get up.
And we know that the figures that it's over 50s living in the West Midlands who believe the problem is getting worse. So could you come and spread some joy around the West Midlands for us?
I can.
Well, Carol Vorderman, lovely talking to you.
And you too, Jason.
You keep that campaign going.
I will.
Wear what you want, because we love looking at you, because you are stunning whatever you do.
Listen, if I was ever going to kowtow to what other people thought, it would have happened by now, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't listen to a blooming word of it. All the good stuff is there for the right reasons. Carol Vorderman, I'm going to say TV legend again. Thank you for joining us.
See you, Jace. All the best.
This is the moment. This is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment. This is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming and screaming become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine, when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I've faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I've made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them all.
Fantastic work from Alec, brilliant cast. We're very much looking forward to seeing that on stage. The Jekyll and Hyde musical, brought to life by Briley Hill Musical Theatre Company this October. On Sunday the 8th of September, the Simon and Garfunkel Story is at the Stafford Gatehouse. To tell us more, I'm joined now by Adam, aka our Garfunkel on the night. Hello, Mr. Dickinson, how are you doing?
Hi, not too bad. Yourself?
I'm okay, thank you. So tell us a bit about your love for the music of this well-known duo.
Yeah, so I play Paul Simon in the show, and I always grew up listening to folk music, and I loved Paul Simon's solo material. And then this audition came through, just like any other West End show. So when it came up, I kind of was having a word with my agent. I was like, "You need to send me for this this show," and then I managed to get it, and this is my first job, so it's amazing. So
because you're playing them visually quite early on in the career, but it'll be music that spans throughout the whole period they've been performing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we start right back at the beginning, the early days, as Tom and Jerry in the 1950s, and then we go all the way back until like the final concerts together. So yeah, we do all of the material, which is really good because especially Paul Simon's writing, he went through like 3 different styles of writing. He had the old early like rockabilly type stuff, and he went to the more lyrical kind of Sound of Silence stuff. Then towards the end, it was kind of the big bands, brass ensembles. So it was we do a wide range. So.
But there's so many moods in the music as you head through the show. Are you doing it chronologically, or do you move around to keep songs that sound similar together?
So it's nearly all in chronological order. We open with Sound of Silence, and then we jump straight back to the first songs that they wrote. So I think we just thought that Sound of Silence was like really sets the mood, sets the tempo for the audience, and then we go straight back, jump into the earlier stuff all the way through.
And then how do you see it? Do you see it as an acting gig that you get to happen to sing in, or is it a singing gig that requires you to be somebody?
Well, it's a bit strange, especially from an acting point of view, because we never actually speak as Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. When we speak, we are the show's narrators. We're just telling the audience. But then whenever there's any music, myself and Kingsley both try and embody them as much as we can. So it's I'd say singing with acting. That's what I'd say.
But you get the look and the outfits as well, which is good.
Yeah. There's about 4 or 5 costume changes throughout each for me, myself and Kingsley. So we go through each period.
And have you got a favourite look?
Favourite look? I'd say the end costume, because Paul Simon just towards the end was wearing blazers, just t-shirts. It's just a lot more chilled out. But in the beginning we have like a tie, like pretty much just full suit. So it's I'd say the end costume for me is my personal favourite.
And they did this. It's through time, isn't it? They changed, they metamorphosised, and they became just truly loved by their audiences as well. I mean, it's understandable how well received their music was.
Yeah, and still is, which is a big thing for me. I'm only 24 myself, so obviously I was never really around when they were big. But even my friends that come and watch, they say to me afterwards, "Oh my God, I didn't know that they wrote that song and this song and this song." So it's really a credit to them how their music is still going. So.
And with the story, I mean, there were ups and downs throughout the career. So as the Simon and Garfunkel Story, you're reflecting all of this too?
Yeah, we don't go too much into the breakup because we don't want to upset either Paul or Art. So we talked basically just about how they were friends since they were like 14 years old, and like going through that fame together and being in the same room as one another like for that whole period of time must have been really difficult. So yeah, we do touch on it, and it just adds to the story, I think.
but it certainly doesn't take away from the music. And I've got to ask, favourite song in the show? It's compulsory, but I should think it's a difficult choice.
Yeah, very difficult. Favourite song in the show? I've got two answers. Is that okay?
We'll let you have two answers. That's fine.
Thank you very much. So I'd say in Act 1, I think Kathy's song, which is Paul Simon's only solo in the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that I was like the most like intensely rehearsing and stuff beforehand. It's just me on stage with my guitar, so that I was trying to get that as close to the original as possible. And then I think in Act 2, it's Mrs. Robinson. That is my mum and my grandma's favourite song. So whenever they come and watch, they're always bobbing along. So yeah, I'd say Mrs. Robinson in Act 2.
And I should think they want to be coming back for this gig because it's going to be a good one. And how does the rest of the stage setting work out? I mean, is it just the two of you most of the time, or do you see a lot more of the other musicians?
Yeah, for the other musicians, I think are on for pretty much all of the songs. I think there's about four songs that the band leave the stage for,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest they're on the whole time. So it's really there's only 5 people on stage like together. So it's kind of like a very minimalist show, but we just let the music do the talking. So, and we've got an incredible band as well, so it's definitely worth coming to watch.
That's what counts, and it's about having that full sound. It is a proper live experience. It is the story of Simon and Garfunkel, and the music brought to life to have a bit of a concert with as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds like it's going to be amazing. It is Sunday the 8th of September. Staff at gatehousetheatre.co.uk to get your tickets, or call the box office on 01785 619080 and enjoy the show. You break a leg, have a great time with the tour, and we're looking forward to seeing you at Stafford on Sunday the 8th of September.
Thank you very much. Cheers for having me. Thank you.
To you, Mrs. Robinson, Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping lifted seas while I see. You're breaking my heart, you're shaking my confidence daily. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Feeling small when tears are in your...
We're not too far away from the first annual Lighthouse Fundraiser Ball, as well as all the other stuff that's going on down here. We need to find out more about it. Kelly Jeffs, how you doing?
Hello.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Good stuff. Right, so what is happening then? Because the Fundraiser Ball is going to be big.
Well, we've got tables for sale for our summer fundraiser ball, which is being held on the 6th of September. We're halfway sold at the moment, which we've got 5 more tables left. And basically, if you book a table for 10 people, it's £600, and that will include a 2-course meal, music, entertainment, lovely host, and a disco at the end. And it's just to celebrate, basically celebrating the end of the summer, as the autumn is hurtling towards us, and to help give some support to Lighthouse for it to continue.
And I think we'll be sat underneath the glorious skylight here.
Lovely courtyard. It'll all be dressed and it'll be lovely. There'll be staging and lanterns, and it'll be pretty.
Woman cuddly.
Yes,
just as the summer's coming to an end. So that all sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But for that one, you need to get people in quite quickly, don't we? Because there's only half's gone already.
Yeah, half's gone already, and we're open. You can buy tickets right up into the next week or so. So you can drop me an email, kelly@light-house.co.uk, and book your table, or phone box office 01902 716 055.
And that phone number is the same one for the films you got going on at the moment, and a busy September ahead of us, because that's not far away now.
Oh my God, it's just, like I said, it's hurtling towards us, and we've got so much we've got so many great things happening over the coming weeks. At the moment, we've just opened with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's been really busy this weekend. So the Tarantino fans out there, come
Absolutely
and get your
loving it.
tickets.
Yeah.
It's on till the end of August, so got 2 weeks of that,
So
which is great.
make the most of that and come and see it in a great venue as well.
Absolutely, lovely venue.
Yeah, proper cinema.
A real cinema with real seats and real screens and real sound.
And real popcorn too.
And real popcorn, yeah.
And a fantastic bar just at the side of it as well.
Absolutely, you can take your Prosecco and you can take your beer in with you, so it can.
You more Prosecco or beer these days?
Bit of both, I don't mind.
Yeah,
anything that's wet.
At school she was beer, but there we are. Okay, what else do we need to know?
The other big one that's come in September, which we know is a very guilty pleasure for me, will be Downton Abbey.
Okay, so you sat there on a Sunday evening enjoying all of that, and now you get to see it on the big screen.
Yeah, it's the next instalment of the Crawley clan, and I think the story around this, the feature film, is the King and Queen are coming to stay for the weekend.
It's always handy in a film, isn't it, if you can bring royalty into it, so that works.
Absolutely, and what's going to be happening is there's going to be some warfare with the Crawley's servants and the royal servants.
Ooh.
Oh, I can't wait, it's edgy. But it will be busy,
Okay,
and I think it'll be a big floor filler in terms of the cinema.
Okay, so keep checking out the details on that one. So light-house.co.uk, get all your tickets and things on there as well as the phone number.
Yeah.
What other favourites have you got?
Well, I mean, the big thing that's coming up as well, which we have actually sold out, is the National Theatre Live Fleabag. So, but we've sold that out. It sold out within about 10 days. It was amazing. But we have released a new date.
Okay, so this is is it the replay? What do we call it?
It's an encore.
Encore. I knew there was a proper word for it. Yeah.
And so that's going to be 25th of October. But another interesting show that we've got coming up in October, 10th of October, is Billy Connolly live.
Oh wow!
And it's technically he's not live, but it's a recording of one of his last world tours. It's an Australian leg of his tour, and it's called Sex with Bandages or Bandages with Sex, something like that. But it's and there's going to be a real intimate and heartfelt interview directly for cinema audiences that no one's ever seen before.
Okay.
So tickets going to be on sale for that shortly. That's 10th of October.
What are those Lighthouse exclusive things that you can do that doesn't happen anywhere else other than the cinema?
Exactly.
Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so give us all the contact details again.
So the website is www.light-house.co.uk, and you can call box office on 01902 716 055.
Yeah.
We have got a few other little fundraisers coming up. We're going to be announcing a Harry Potter fundraiser quiz.
Yeah.
We've got the poster sale on the 31st of August. We've got the next Light Bar reunion, which the nightclub that took place here in the 90s and the late 90s and early 2000s.
And you used to come here then?
Absolutely. And there's tickets are on sale for that. That's the 28th of September.
So all of that going on, and you've got a great time to have by all. And that just reminds the details for the fantastic end of summer ball.
The fundraiser ball takes place on the 6th of September, and tickets are on sale £65 per head or £600 for a table of 10.
So
there's
take a look at that one.
discount for that.
And the email address?
It's kelly@light-house.co.uk.
Do all that, get involved, have a great time, and make sure you use Lighthouse because it's a fantastic facility. Thanks again as ever.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you so much for joining us. Back with episode 531 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.